Well, a very good morning to you and yours, and thank you so much for joining us this beautiful morning. We are coming to you live from the Kavango East region in Rundu at the regional governor's office here in the Kavango East region, of course, where we are about to witness one of the greatest, state of the region address that is about to be tabled by the Honorable Governor of the Kavango East region, that is Bonifatius Wakudumo. Now, if you may know by now, this of course sets a platform to, of course, address, that is, the achievements, the challenges experienced, and, of course, also what the future plans are for the state of the region address in terms of what the Kavango East has been experiencing in the past financial year. My name is John Ikonja. Thank you so much for joining us this beautiful morning. Perhaps just to give you some brief background of course, what this event states. This State of the Region address serves as a crucial platform for transparency and accountability, and it also allows regional leaders to present their accomplishments, detailing that is progress in areas such as infrastructure development, healthcare, education, and economic empowerment. Now, by highlighting these achievements, the address fosters a sense of trust and confidence among its citizens, showcasing the tangible benefits of government initiatives. Now, to help us unpack this, we are joined this morning by my analyst, who's of course going to help us unpack and of course also share the expectations of what the State of the Region address is going to be, of course, deliberating on. We are joined by Dr. Gavi Kave, who is an academia and lecturer at the Rundu UNAM campus. A very good morning to you, Doctor. Thank you so much for making the time to talk to us this morning.
Thank you very much, and nice for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Such a wonderful town, this Rundu, and it has welcomed us very well for a couple of days that we spent here. For a visitor that perhaps is still not here yet, what are some of the, the very fun things you can, share to one that has not visited Rundu yet?
Thank you very much for having me indeed. Let me start, first of all, maybe by saying that you're welcome to Rundu.
Thank you.
And you're coming at the right time when the mosquitoes are just, beginning to come back to join us at the end of the winter.
Yeah.
But also, let me also say that this is a celebration of a legacy that our late president has actually laid down.
Indeed.
In terms of, enforcing a strong sense of commitment to accountability for our government and other public offices through governors presenting and making this kind of statements to their constituencies.
Absolutely.
So this is really something commendable, and our governor here in Kavango East region is no exception to what other governors have been doing, in a series of their presentation throughout the years, and this time around especially, and for those that are also still due to do the presentation. So it's a commendable democratic practice that we should really be proud of, and we are looking forward indeed to our governor making a presentation to the region, looking at a number of challenges. And you would first of all appreciate the fact that Namibia is a developing country, and it being a developing country, most of our efforts of a planned economy do focus on developmental projects, health investments.
That's right.
Investments in education, investments in natural resources, investments in many other areas, including private sector sort of engagement in participating in national development. These are some of the areas, with no exception, that I also expect our governor to be touching on as to how are we doing as a region in those aspects. But I also expect that there will be some challenges, of course, that over the years we have been faced with within the region, including drought, infrastructure-related challenges, youth unemployment challenges, perhaps that he might be talking to us about, and what his regional office is actually doing in addressing those. And so we are holding our breath to really hear what's in the kitty for us and for the region that the office is really preparing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If we take a look at some of the history in terms of what has been done in the past financial year, but what are some of the highlights that stood out for you that perhaps needed more improvement or perhaps needed more addressing in terms of what needed to be developed here in the town of Rundu, not only in the town of Rundu in essence, but the Kavango East region at large?
Yeah. Well, it's quite a lot. You know for sure that we are the number one region in the country when it comes to performance in education.
Highly so.
Yes, and we don't want to lose that spot.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to our governor consolidating a position at the regional level to say, well, here are the efforts that we are putting in place that we don't lose that spot in the region. Mm-hmm. So I'm anticipating the governor talking to us about a number of investments probably that have been done with regard to building more schools, more classrooms, training of teachers, and placing of our unemployed teachers that are qualified, who happens to be in the streets, to make sure that we maintain, not only for the sake of maintaining our sport, but education, it's really the fundamental backbone of the economic development of the region and of the country. We are the supply region to the rest of Namibia when it comes to quality education. So that's one aspect. There are other aspects such as fisheries, for example. Mm-hmm. Besides marine operations in the coastal areas, Rundu and maybe Zambezi are the two regions in the country that can really boast about inland fishing. But we are constrained. We are challenged, and while we are suffering, I mean, we have at the back here the office of the Ministry of Fisheries, which has been under construction for the past, I don't know how many years. And that's an indication that there are challenges within the region why our inland fisheries are not really coming up to the par where we expect them to perform. So we are looking forward to the governor pronouncing the region as to what efforts are being put in place to resuscitate these regional initiatives and potential low-hanging opportunities. There are issues, of course, when it comes to development investment in the region, especially attracting private sector investment, and that doesn't come easy. You need to provide incentives, and so I'm looking forward to the governor also pointing out what kind of incentives is the region providing to attract private sector investment, especially with respect to, alleviation or elevation of towns to, villages to town councils, town councils to, municipalities, etc., so that you build confidence in private sector investment in those areas. And that creates opportunities for businesses, employment, and others. So there's quite a number of things that I'm really looking forward to.
Indeed. Thank you so much for that, Doctor. Now, of course, if you are joining us, you're still watching the State of the Region address coming to you live from the Kavango East region. Now, our team, of course, took to the streets to hear the voices of the residents of the Kavango East region, to hear their takes on what challenges, of course, also improvements that they hope to see, and also what exactly has been their experience for staying in the Kavango East region as far as development. Now, let's take a look and hear the voices of the residents of the Kavango East region to hear their sentiments, of course, of the State of the Region address.
Initially, the development we got so far, in terms of road infrastructures, I would say the government have done enough, particularly in Kavango East. We are happy that most of the roads were improved.
The roads are changing. Crime rate is not that much.
So as we say now, as Rundu has been developed, it was a small town. It was Rundu was only having a one shop. But now Rundu has become, at least expand development, infrastructure, shops.
Looking at the things, Kavango region is pretty doing good. But when it comes to development, the development is a little bit growing so slow, because when you look at the roads, the roads are just mostly in town, and then they are not in a good condition too. They have potholes here and there. And then when you come to the settlements, let me say the rural areas in Rundu, they actually roads. They only have gravel roads, which is actually bad when we look at it. So yeah, I would say they need to work more harder when it comes to development of the roads.
Over the past few years I've been here, so I can see we are pushing little by little. As you can see, we are standing on a new mall now, and the roads somehow it's good.
The improvement that I can see, there's a little bit improvement, but there's no improvement like let me say like other towns. So at least we need improvement here in Rundu, especially to the youth. Unemployment is really high here. people are studying, people are graduating, but they are not getting jobs. As we can see, I came here today in town. I have a qualification as an enrolled nurse, and as you can see, I came here looking for a job today, and I did not get anything positive. Everywhere I'm going, they are just saying no vacant, and which is not a good response. So I cannot be sitting. I have my qualification, and you expect me to sit at home again, waiting for what?
The challenge that we are facing mostly on the, like say, our development, mostly of our institution of educational. So mostly like when you go in Vindu, you find more education system are close to the city. So Rundu also they must improve mostly on a educational facility. Let me say not about schools, but also about tertiary schools. So you find like some of tertiary schools here are not in Rundu, but Rundu is big now. You see, population of Rundu is becoming high, and people are completing school grade 12. Some of the land are just sitting at home because they want to go study a certain institution, but that institution is very far to Rundu.
The challenges I'm facing in school is that we don't have textbooks, and crime rate is also increasing in schools. Like people are stealing our pens, our books, and the toilets are dirty, and you don't feel comfortable at school because of some bullies.
Most of the youth are not really participating too much in politics. I have spoken to some of them. You know, they tell you that we cannot be able to participate in votes because most of the things we are like that are being implemented, we are not we are not being involved in all those things. But not knowing that without casting a vote, you are actually voting against what is. So if we actually involve more youth in politics also, not only on the level of them voting, but also in decision making, because there are some of the things and programs that are being developed, and you'll see that most of the youth are kind of like left behind.
There is too much theft in Rundu actually, and too much crime in Rundu. It's pretty not safe for the youth. Like you would not even be free to walk around, the streets during the night because of this theft. And this theft is actually being caused by this unemployment situation.
The other thing also, if you just get out of the tire road, like the main tire road that leads to town, you will just be hit with a gravel road already. But we are in town, like locations like, let me say, Rainbow, locations like Atutura, they are within town, to Tungeni, old locations, but we are still struggling.
Initially, the development.
Those were some of the sentiments shared by the residents of the Kavango East region, just of course being all things from positive and also some of the challenges and also improvements that needs to be, of course, met in that area. But Doctor, perhaps your reflection of just what you heard there from some of the residents, even students are also being part of them that also shared their sentiments. Just briefly, what are your remarks to that?
Yeah, no, it's quite promising and hopeful. You see, one of the things that our late president used to say is that when you have a community complaining, you should know that community is having some hope and looking forward.
Indeed.
And expectations.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you don't have any hope, you stop complaining. And so the fact that people are complaining, that's an indication of that there is a promise that the government is holding, that the region is holding for these people. Mm-hmm. But it's true, I can concur with them on a number of things, really, both on the positive and on the negatives. On the positives, one of the things I can indicate, obviously being a resident of Rundu myself, is the fact that in the past couple of months, maybe 12 months to now, we have seen an unusual acceleration of road infrastructure improvement.
That's right.
And that's really commendable. We should really thank both the Rundu Town Council as well as maybe the Regional Council. We have also seen a number of electrification of rural areas, especially places like Ingona and so forth. So some of these things are really quite commendable, although, as I indicated at the beginning, as a developing country, at times most of the things we focus on are new initiatives, but not so good and strong with maintaining what we have already. So you will find some challenges at times that what we have, we are not so good at maintaining them. You see a lot of dilapidating schools, classrooms running out of shape and structure and form in which they have to be functioning properly. So, and those challenges will, to a certain degree, continue. But the main focus, I think, what the community must understand is that government wants to expand the boundaries of new initiatives and development all the time. It doesn't mean to say that we should ignore what we have. I think government should do as much effort also to ensure that those are maintained as well. So yeah, it's not easy, but I think on the balance of probability, we are doing well and probably moving in the right direction as a region.
I want to touch basically, of course, on another thing. Of course, knowing that the country is faced with drought right now, and given the importance of agriculture in the Kavango East, what agricultural developments or support programs might the governor focus on in his speech today?
Look, this is a region that you know for sure it's endowed naturally with water.
That's right.
The river and good rainfall compared to the rest of other regions within the country. And for me, to be honest, this is the region that should not be importing vegetables. We should not be importing fruits from South Africa. But we continue to see these trucks coming in and delivering to the wholesales and markets and within the region. Right. That's a big challenge, which we should really curtail as far as possible.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Yeah.
Right, now that was Dr. That is Kave, who of course was sharing his sense on, of course, what the expectations are. But now we're going to cross into the auditorium to hear from the governor as he tables the State of the Region address for the year 2024. Let's now cross over into the auditorium to hear, of course, what this year has been like for the Kavango East
Honorable
region.
Daman Mambai, Chairperson of the Kavango East Regional Council, His Worship Gabriel Kanyanga, Mayor of Rundu Town, Honorable Christoph Kupembona, Chairperson of the Vundu Village Council, Regional and Local Authority Councillors, Fumu Erwin Mbambo Munika of the Hambukushu Community, Hompa Sofia Munjembwe Kanyetu of Wasambu Community, all distinguished traditional leaders present, Mrs. Lutgela Nangura, CRO Chief Regional Officer Kavango East Regional Council, Comrade Mushinga Otilie Sinduvi, Swapo Party Regional Coordinator, all heads of other political parties present, Regional Commander of the Namibian Police, the Commanding Officer, Namibian Defense Force, Commissioner, Namibia Correction Services, heads of line ministry, state-owned enterprises and agencies, private sector representative, non-governmental organization, faith-based leaders, residents of Kavango East Region, member of the media, ladies and gentlemen, once again, a very good morning to you all. It is my honor to present to you the State of Regional Address for the financial year 2023-2024, highlighting our progress and achievements in key areas such as education, health, agriculture, micro-enterprises, infrastructure development, land distribution and delivery, housing, water, supply, social protection and social welfare, labor, rural and urban electrification, youth employment and empowerment, and our bilateral relations. Education. Namibia has made significant strides in improving access to education with a focus on increasing enrollment rates and improving infrastructure. However, challenges remain in ensuring quality educations, particularly in rural areas. To address this, the regional government has invested in construction of new classrooms and the provision of learning materials to ensure quality education for all our children. This has resulted in a higher enrollment rate of 76,281 learners from grade 1 up to grade 12 and 261 special learners in 2023 academic year. As part of the recovery from the effect of COVID-19 pandemic, the region made considerable investment in the construction and completion of a new schools, 35 classrooms, 7 administration blocks, and 15 storerooms facility at Siguruguru Senior Primary, Sarusungu Junior Primary, Rebecca Kambundu Senior Primary, Divundu Combined School, Rundu Project School, Ndamba Combined School, Matumbo Ribebe Senior Secondary School, Divundu Combined and Diana Combined School, to the combined amount of 24 million Namibian dollars. Moreover, following emergencies, measures were instituted to address classroom shortages in Rundu Circuit, and a combined of 41 emergency classrooms and 10 storerooms were constructed at Ndama South Project Junior Primary School, Rebecca Kambundu Senior Primary School, and Kehemu Secondary School project. All costing of the classroom blocks, storerooms, ablution blocks, and water tower installations were completed to the tune of 21,796,913 Namibian dollars. Pupkevis Foundation and Prime Healthcare Namibia funded the construction of 8 classrooms and a storeroom at Kehemu Junior Primary and 2 classrooms at Sikoro Junior Primary School, respectively. This escorted the donors an amount of 3,700,000 Namibian dollars. To ensure equitable learning environment, Kayanga Senior Primary, Dr. Manus Kampungu Secondary, and Robert Mushongo Primary School classrooms were renovated during the period under review. Maintenance and repair work were carried out at Omega Combined School hostels, on freezer room and school cold storage. Martin Dumba Combined School, Maria Mwengere Senior Secondary School, Maria Mwenger Cultural Center, Rikwaterera Senior Primary School hostel, and Omega Combined School hostel. The region managed to procure and install cooking pots and frying pans at the following hostels: Martin Dumba Secondary School, Divundu Combined School Hostel, Max Makushe School, Ndiona Combined School, and Dr. Manus Kampungu Secondary School hostels. The repair of Max Makushe Secondary School, sewer ponds, and installation of sewerage reticulation system, Sauyema Junior Primary School, were also completed. At the same time, construction of security fence and the repair of sewerage plant at the Divundu Combined School were also completed to the tune of 3,453,000 Namibian dollars. We have also invested in the early child development programs, resulting the completion of the pending works at Divame Hozoge Early Child Development Center in Kaishosi of the Rundu Urban Constituency, Early Child Development Center project at Mutuarancha in the Rundu Rural Constituency, and at Shamahongo Early Child Development Center in Mukwe Constituency, at a combined amount of 3,772,880 for Namibian dollars 52 cents, abandoned by the previous contractors. Fencing of Martin Kanyondi Early Child Development Program Center is in the Ndiona constituency, and a boundary fencing at Shaya was successfully completed at the cost of 293,308 Namibian dollars 33 cents and 266,744 Namibian dollars 72 cents. Health. In the field of health, we have worked tirelessly to provide access to quality health care services for all our residents. We have upgraded existing health facilities, recruited skilled health professionals, and launched awareness campaign on important health issues such as vaccination, maternal child health, and nutrition. Our goal is to ensure the well-being of our community to prevent the spread of diseases. To this end, Shamaturu Clinic and Bureau prefabricated clinic structure has been completed to be commissioned soon. Furthermore, Mabushe Clinic secured a land, obtained the title deed, and an environment impact assessment was done for the relocation of the clinic to the higher ground. Moreover, minor renovation of current higher care ward, installation of water cooling system in casualties outside patient department OPD, and installation of works for the restoration of the incinerator were carried out successfully in Rundu Intermediate Hospital. Installation of the oxygen plants at Andara District, Nyangana District, and Rundu Intermediate Hospital were completed and commissioned. Additional work on cold room isolation facility at Andara District Hospital were also completed. Awareness campaigns to improve active surveillance system across the district is in monitoring priority disease and the early detection and response of malaria outbreak, achieve exceptional coverage resulting in 84% indoor residual spray coverage. Agriculture. Agriculture remains a key sector in our region, and we have focused on supporting our farmers and supporting sustainable agricultural practices. We have provided training and technical assistance to help them improve their yields and incomes, as well as access to markets for their products. We believe that a thriving agriculture sector is crucial for the economic development of our region. Through the Ministry of Agriculture, Water, Land Reforms, Namibian Mechanization and Seed Improvement Program, NAMSEP, 29 tractors were procured with their matching implements to render all the services as stipulated under the dry land crop production. Program C DCPP program, the implements received included hand-operated cultivators for weeding, hand-operated seedling transplanters, vegetable seed drillers, diesel clip chipper hammer mills for cattle feed, knapsack sprayers, walking tractors with matching implements. The Directorate of Agriculture, Production, Extension, and Engineering Services, DAPIS, operationalized the 3 green schemes project in Kavango East region that under production, namely Shadi Kongoro, Uvunguvungu, Ndonga Linena, with the production status as follows. Uvunguvungu, during summer production, a total of 80 hectares of maize was planted with an average yield of 7 tons per hectare, totaling 560 tons harvested. Furthermore, a total of 94 hectares of wheat is planted during the winter that will be harvested before the next summer crop plantation. Shadi Kongoro, during summer production, a total of 72 hectares of maize was planted with average yield of 7 tons per hectare. There is no wheat production as infrastructure is being repaired to prepare for the 2024-2025 summer production. Ndonga Linena, during summer production, a total of 60 hectares of maize was planted and harvested 408.96 tons. In addition, 33 hectares was planted with oats, while 10 hectares are planted with lucerne. To ensure timely production, sustainable and efficient crop production, continuous repair and maintenance of equipment is of utmost importance. In relation to farmer support program, we have provided 19.5 tons of subsidized input, such as seeds and fertilizer, to 4,404 subsistence farmers, plowing, reaping, planting services to 1,357, with total of 3,469 hectares, 1 storage facility silos, and weeding services to 73 farmers. Under the horticulture production program, 60 farmers were provided with a subsidized input and equipment valued at 647,034 Namibian dollars 27 cents. A total of 422 farmers were trained in horticulture production, which has resulted in uninterrupted supply of horticulture products in the region throughout the year. In the area of small stock development and distribution in communal areas, 420 goats were distributed to 20 farmers, 21 goats per farmer, to all rural constituencies of the Kavango East region. Poultry value chain program is aimed at uplifting the poultry producers, benefited 84 poultry producers to the value of $380,479 Namibian dollars, 63 cents. Moreover, 71 poultry producers were trained in poultry-related farming methods. In addition, through extension services, a total of 2,036 farmers received training and information on various agricultural topics and techniques. Animal diseases provided a critical challenge that threatened not just our livestock sector, but also the livelihoods of countless farmers, the economy, and our food security. However, during the period under review, no outbreak of animal diseases was experienced. Despite these achievements, vaccination of cattle against foot and mouth disease, FMD, and against contagious bovine pleurophenomena, CBPP, were undertaken, reaching 39,939 out of a targeted population of 50,000 cattle, represents 80% coverage. To effectively prepare the future combating of animal diseases outbreaks, we have devised the following actionable strategies to enhance surveillances and reporting, establish a transparent reporting mechanism to ensure timely communication between farmers, local authorities, and health officials, strengthen biosecurity measures, implement rigorous biosecurity protocols to protect farms from external threats, provide resources and training to farmers on best practices for preventing diseases transmission, educational campaigns, launch comprehensive educational initiatives to inform farmers about signs of diseases, the importance of vaccinations, and biosecurity practices, engage community leaders to disseminate information and encourage participation in vaccination drives. Collaboration between stakeholders, foster partnership between government agencies, non-governmental organizations, agricultural societies, and veterinary organizations to share resources, knowledge, and support. Create a forum for farmers to voice their concerns and collaborate on solutions. Research and development, invest in research to develop new vaccines and treatments for emerging animal diseases. Encourage universities and research institutions to work collaboratively with practitioners in the field. Emergency response plans. Develop and regularly update emergency response plans for rapid containment of outbreaks. Establish a dedicated task force that can mobilize quickly to address outbreaks as they arise. In our effort of providing access to market of animal farmers, the Rundu Abattoir has started operating and cattle are slaughtered at the facilities and has created employment and stimulated economic activities downstream to small, medium enterprises who are purchasing products from reselling. The abattoir has a workforce of 64 fixed-term employees, 8 casual and 58 at quarantine camps, bringing the total of 130 employees, of which 10 employed were sourced directly from vulnerable communities, from constituencies through the Office of the Regional Governor of Kavango East Region in collaboration with the Kavango East Regional Councillors. The ministry has financed the rehabilitation of Mbungu Community Quarantine Camp in Mukwe constituency to serve as a cattle feeding facility to farmers for Rundu Abattoir. As currently farmers in this area are taking their cattle to Katima Mulilo Abattoir. Environment, forest management. To prepare for the prevention of field fire, a total of about 50-kilometer cut line were cleared, creating 40 short-term jobs during the clearance of the fire cut lines in our commitment for reforestation. An orchard was established at Livai village of the Mdua Wanyangana Conservancy on International Tree Planting Day, and 2,020 seedlings were planted. Additionally, a total of 2,110 fruit tree seedlings were donated to different schools during the period under review. Micro-enterprises and community project support. We have also placed a strong emphasis on supporting micro-enterprises, community projects, and small business in our region through financial assistance, business trainings, and market linkages. We have improved aspiring entrepreneurs to start and grow their businesses, creating opportunities for employment and economic growth. To this end, an amount of 687,295.93 cents were invested into community projects, which include Muthinduko Road debushing, Nkongoro Water Pipeline, Ngara Mateya Road debushing, Rudhiva Community Open Market, Lira Monyo Road debushing, Dosha Shambahe Dumushi Road debushing, Vuthilo Gardening, Pakachi Chicken, Youth Vision Center of Namibia, Rikwaterera Milling Project, Munyathi Wandara Gardening, Shamarao Piggery, Shamwene Milling, Kambegere Milling, Shiuru Milling, Kandiye Chicken, Rasi Investment, Close Cooperation, Konjeni Milling, Kwate Muchima Wood Caving, and Beekeeping Project. Infrastructure development. Infrastructure development is vital for the progress of our region, as we have invested in the construction and maintenance of roads and utilities to facilitate connectivity and accessibility. The projects include the rehabilitation of 78 kilometers of Trans-Zambezi Highway at the cost of 194 million Namibian dollars. The regravering of roads at Ndiona settlement to bitumen class standard to the tune of 2,208,000 Namibian dollars, co-funded by the Development Budget and Road Fund Administration, RFA. The construction of a traffic circle at the intersection of Eugene Kakukuru Street and B8 roads, the construction of John Mutorwa Road, the rehabilitation and conversion of Marcus Warongo Road, the upgrading of Mashare River Lodge and Standard Bank traffic intersections from bitumen to interlocks, the rehabilitation of Maria Mwengere, Elizabeth Nepemba roads to the combined amount of 57,630,280 Namibian dollars 32 cents. This development did not only improve the quality of lives for our residents, but also attracted investment and promoted economic activities in our region. At this juncture, I really want to applaud and thank our Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Work Transport, Comrade John Mutorwa, the RFA, and the Road Authority for working together with the Rundu Town Council to make sure that road construction and rehabilitation in Rundu Town become a reality. As you can work in Rundu, it is just black on the sides white, and in the center is white. Omake. An amount of 500,678 Namibian dollars, 83 cents, was spent on the office and staff houses renovations of the Directorate of Forestry in Mukwe constituency. In an effort of accelerating service delivery to meet the increasing demand in Rundu town, considerable progress were recorded on the construction of municipal services infrastructure such as water, sewer, electricity, and roads in Rundu Extension 8. The construction of electrical reticulation in Dama Extension 6, the upgrading of sewer system in Donkerhoek, and upgrading of the Sawiema sewer pump station and associated manholes to the tune of 5,812,211 Namibian dollars 9 cents. Considerable progress had been recorded in construction of sewer and water reticulation services for a portion of Extension 2 in Divundu to the tune of 5,603,630 Namibian dollars 76 cents. Coupled with the construction of roads from gravel to bitumen standards at Extension 2 at a cost of 4,150,145 Namibian dollars 98 cents. Access to clean water is essential for health and well-being. As we have prioritized the expansion and improvement of water supply services in our region, we have invested in water infrastructure projects, water conservation initiatives, and water quality monitoring to ensure that safe and reliable water is available to all our communities. To this end, the installation and commissioning of boreholes in Kehemu suburb, Nkongoro water pipeline in Mkwe constituency, and materials were also procured for the installation of submersible borehole at Kashira Kampenje Primary School in Doyona constituency to ensure provision of clean drinking water to the peoples and the community. The construction stage of river obstruction for Kayengona in the Rundu rural constituency, Samvura water supply in Diona constituency has been completed together with the design installation of filtration plants, and associated components has been completed at a combined value of 8,500,000 Namibian dollars, while phase 2 of Shamvura water supply has been approved for implementation. Equally also very important to announce that we have started with a very massive project of Rundu water purification plant. This plant is very big. It will transport water up to Mpungu Valley in the Kavango East region. It will also push water up to at Muhembo and Omega. So the construction is underway. The directorate also drilled and installed a borehole at the office site to provide water for the office, staff houses, and the tree planting activities at the forestry office surrounding. The cost of the borehole installation was 576,092 Namibian dollars, and the two projects created 9 short-term job opportunities to the surrounding residents. The supply and distribution of clean potable drinking water plays a catalyst role in human health. Hence, our investment of 1,500,000 Namibian dollars is in small desalination plant known as Water Softening Project in Mukuni, Shiwuru, and Wikota of the Ndongalinena, and Mashare constituency, respectively. Moreover, 21 boreholes were drilled and installed at the cost of 22 million Namibian dollars at Simpanda, Muhopi, Mapupu, Garoses Plot, Nsone Farm, Fry Farm, Rutuau, and Matare in the Rundu Rural, Katondo, Manchenya in Mashare, Shingdua, Kadua, Kanyumara, South in Ndongalinena, Rutara, Kayovatu, Sharuwanda, Muhakamin, Ndiona, Mbapuka, Divai, Mushangara, Mukwe, Directorate of Water Supply, Sanitation and Coordination Office in Mukwe constituency. I am pleased to further report that 11 boreholes were rehabilitated at Divundu, at Diyundo, Shaditata, Omega 1, Dithimba, Shairungu, and Shamavinyo in Mukwe constituency, and Shakambu, Shandao, Muhama, and Namuwawa in the Mashare constituency. As part of our commitment in providing sanitation to rural areas, 7 pit latrines were constructed, 1 at Kayova in Diona, and 6 in Mahahe and in Mashare constituency. Access to electricity is crucial for economic development and improved quality of life. Through our regional electricity distribution company in Roret, we have worked to expand electricity distribution services in our region by investing in electrification projects, such as the electrification of Ndama Extension 6, installation of 50 kVA at Nove Junior Primary School that has further benefited 150 housing units, and the electrification of Shamakwi Junior Primary, Shividi Junior Primary, Mashi Junior Primary, Shairungu Junior Primary, Shambambungu Junior Primary, Shinunga Junior Primary, Shambare, Ndishambahe Junior Primary, and Pikinini Junior Primary at a combined amount of 13,623,324 Namibian dollar 62 cents. Moreover, transformers were installed coupled with electrification at the following schools: Shadimbungu Junior Primary, Kavichi Junior Primary, Dumushi Junior Primary, Ngorosa Junior Primary, Alois Hashipara Junior Primary, and Tamtamu Junior Primary. I am happy to report that progress has been recorded on the electrification of Maputa Junior Primary, Munganya Junior Primary, Shakambu Junior Primary, and Shamavinyo Junior Primary, costing 12,863,371 Namibian dollars 98 cents. Our commitment to promoting digital literacy through the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology has trained 800 students in basic computer literacy classes in Mukwe, Ndiona, and Ndongalinena constituency during the period under review. We are committed to ensure network expansion in the region, which is evident in 4G LTE deployments in Kavango East region and the increased mobile broadband internet access to means of the new 4G LTE deployment at the following sites: Andara Hospital, Katenture Village, Katere Village, Max Makushe Secondary School, Nodo Village, Nyangana Hospital, and Sambiu Village. Moreover, a new tower was also commissioned at Nusha Village in the Mashare constituency, which brings a total population network coverage to 94.84%. Land distribution and housing delivery. We have taken steps to address the issue of land distribution and delivery in urban centers and rural areas, ensuring that land rights are protected and equitable access to land is provided to all residents. We have implemented programs planning to promote sustainable and inclusive development. To this end, feasibility study of growth points for future urban centers in Kavango East region was carried out at identified areas of Mukwe, Kangongo, Mukuwiteya, Ndongalinena, Muroro, and Kayengona. The project was completed successfully, and the feasibility study report was presented to the Kavango East Regional Council, full council, and the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development was notified and furnished with the recommendation of the study. Access to decent and affordable housing is a basic human right, and we have worked to provide housing solutions for low-income families in our region. We have implemented housing programs, incentivized private investment in affordable housing, and partnered with stakeholders to address housing challenges and promote housing security for all our residents. This has resulted in the Rundu Town Council surveying a total number of 2,161 erven. Additional erven were created at Rundu Extension 28, 91 erven. Ndama Extension 15, 341 erven. Ndama Extension 16, 37 erven. Ndama Extension 17, 347 erven. Ndama Extension 18, 355 erven. Kaisosi Extension 13, 341 erven. And Sauyema Extension 10, 349 erven at an amount of 3,106,823 Namibian dollars 7 cents. Moreover, a total number of 178 new houses were constructed during the period in Rundu town. In our commitment to provide facelift to government flats, renovation of flat blocks 1, Part A and B, to the tune of 1,541,462 Namibian dollars 1 cent. Additional renovation for staff accommodation at the Vundu sub-office were done to the tune of 427,605 Namibian dollars 53 cents. The importance of ecosystem health cannot be overemphasized, as fish species play a critical role in the aquatic ecosystem as predators and prey, influencing the population dynamics of other species in the overall health of the river. Protecting fish contributes to the resilience of the ecosystem, helping it withstand environmental changes and pressure. Sustainable management strategies and conservation efforts are essential to ensure that these valuable resources are available for the future generation while maintaining the integrity of the Kavango River's biodiversity and ecosystem services. As a result, a total of 309 patrols were conducted, of which 289 were land-based patrol missions and 17 were on the river, During these patrols, illegal fishing activities were encountered, and a total number of 215 illegal fishing gears, of which 77 monofilament gill nets, 109 mosquito nets, and 29 sage nets were confiscated. Social protection and social welfare. We have strengthened our social protection and welfare programs to support vulnerable groups such as the elderly persons, persons with disabilities, and children in need. We have expanded social assistance programs, established community-based care services, and promote social inclusion and empowerment to secure that no one is left behind. In light of these efforts, 673 orphans and vulnerable children were registered on social grant beneficial list, whilst 270 elderly were registered on old age social grant. It is also worth noting that counseling were also provided to 18 elderly survivors of domestic violence, a total number of 10 children who are the victims and survivors of sexual abuse. Boys and girls, 2 boys and 8 girls, received counseling during the period under review. In an effort to providing nutritional food to school-going children, a total number of 54,560 learners from 158 schools in Kavango East region benefited from school feeding program. The national government declared an emergency as a result of recurring drought in the country. As a result, 29,585 households were registered in the all 5 rural constituencies, while 8,915 households were approved in Rundu urban constituency. This was followed by the following distribution. During first quarter, which is October up to December 2023, 180 tons, 180,000 tinned fish, 45,000 cooking oil, 45,000 maize meals of 12.5 kg, 30,000 maize meals of 10 kg, and 60,000 soya beans. And during the second quarter, January up to March 2024, 414,000 tinned fish, 103,500 cooking oil, 103,500 maize meals of 20 kg, 60,000 1.5 beef were distributed. Civil registration. Issuance of national documents is key to determine the status of the residents in the region. During the period under review, 9,541 birth certificates, while 8,882 identity cards were captured. As part of the rural area outreach program, 3,247 birth certificates and 2,740 identity cards were captured during the period under review. Labor, we have focused on creating a conducive environment for decent work and productive employment for our residents. We have promoted labor rights and safe working conditions, as well as provided registration on NIS system for possible job placement opportunities to augment our workforce. In light of the above effort, 230 labor cases out of 231 were settled, and an outstanding amount of $203,786 Namibian dollars 51 cents as part of non-compliance with labor laws was collected and paid to the aggrieved beneficiaries. In our commitment to ensure employment upholding the highest standard of labor practices, 113 establishments were visited in various economies to establish fair employment practices, promotion of workers' rights, and employment contracts and adherence to minimum wages. Youth employment and empowerment. Our youth are the future of our region, and we have prioritized their employment and empowerment. We have implemented youth entrepreneurship programs, skills training initiatives, and mentorship opportunities to equip young people with the tools and resources they need to succeed in their workforce and contribute to the development of our region. In light of the above, 15 students were attached to NORAD as part of their intensive program for a period of 6 months. Moreover, a total of 7 students were also trained on aquaculture activities in the region during 2023-2024 financial year. We are committed in advancing youth entrepreneurship through capacity building, in which 120 aspiring youth were trained in entrepreneurship development and support during the Unmatched Youth Conference. Additional training on women in leadership was conducted to 46 participants in Rundu Urban Constituency. The region continues to make strides in capacitating young people with skills-based training in bricklaying and plastering, welding and metal fabrication, plumbing and pipe fitting, joinery and cabinet making, agriculture, in horticulture and crop production, hospitality and tourism, clothing production, and computer and office administration at France Dimbare Youth Center in the Mukwe constituency. Additionally, young people were trained on financial literacy as part of their pre-qualification of the National Youth Credit Scheme, which has benefited 24 young people to the combined amount of 192,000 Namibian dollars to finance their businesses. Moreover, Rundu Urban Youth Project, close cooperation, was funded with total amount of 276,500 Namibian dollars under Rural Youth Enterprises Program initiated under Harambee Prosperity Plan, HPP. In the area of natural resources management, a total number of 30 community members from different community forests and conservancies within Kavango East region were trained on forest and field fire management. Additional training involving 12 management members from Duva Nyangana, George Mukoya, and Kapinga Kamwarie conservancies and community forest and wood resources inventory were conducted. In our effort of promoting sports in the region, we have managed to host the Governor's Cup that served as a platform for selecting the regional team for soccer and netball, which participated in the Namibian newspaper. As a result, 2 players were selected in the under-20 and under-19 national teams for soccer and netball, respectively. I must also mention that Kavango East region, in the previous years, we only had Julino Sporting Club, which was playing at the elite Super League. Now, for this financial year coming 2024-2025, Kuka Tops Club is also going to join the elite soccer in Namibia. What a great success. I should also at its juncture indicate that so far 5 teams have qualified to play at the First Division Northern Stream League. UNAM Rundu campus, if they succeed on the playoffs, then we'll be having 6 teams on the First Division. So things are happening in Kavango East region as far as sport is concerned. In the area of higher education, training, and innovation, 355 trainees graduated from the Rundu Vocational Training Center in various trades during the period under review. The University of Namibia has not only focused on academic excellence, but included social investment as part of its community program to drive employment creation, in which school uniforms were donated to the needy school children at Ngumusis Junior Primary School. Additional donation of 5,985 Namibian dollars was made by some staff members of the university in support for community animal feed gathering projects. Investment. Given the favorable climate condition and good terrain of the Kavango East region, we have attracted investment of 1.5 billion Namibian dollars in blueberries production at Divundu Village Council in the Mukwe constituency. This has resulted in the initial production land coverage of over 25 hectares, employment creation of 75 permanent and 125 seasonal workers. Investment in human capital is one of the key operations at Blueberry, Namibia, in which 150 employees were trained on production and handling of the berries. Progress has been recorded with the construction of cold storage at the plantation in which the first harvest is packaged. As I'm reporting to you now, the blueberry in Divundu have started already to harvest their first harvest. Mashare Blueberries recorded a record harvest of 140 tons of berries on its 60 hectare of production, creating 130 permanent and 800 seasonal workers employees. These berries serve foreign markets of United Kingdom, Germany, Spain, France, Netherlands, Hong Kong, Malaysia, India, Dubai, and Singapore, bringing in foreign earning on the country. Foreign dollars are getting into Namibia. Recon Africa has stepped up its exploration and drilling of multiple exploration and appraisal wells, following the successful completion of its stratigraphic well drilling, 2D seismic survey, which focused on data collection and data interpretation. The company will maintain its social responsibility programs alongside the ongoing exploration activities. Support for education sector, which will remain a priority, including their commitment to the scholarship program and assisting the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture by providing essential educational and sport equipments. So I must also, on the international relations, we have an existing, cooperation agreement with Mashonaland West Province in the Republic of Zimbabwe. So it is operational. What we need is only to invite our businessmen and women sector ministries to liaise with the regional council so that you can identify your specific areas of cooperation with Mashonaland West Province under the Kavango East Regional Council so that we can see how do we move our developments for the two countries ahead. Equally also, our cooperation with the Wakudumo Province of the Republic of Angola, the work is in progress very soon, so we will be concluding so that our community in the Republic of Namibia, Kavango East Region, and Wakudumo Province in the Republic of Angola, so we are sharing a common border so that we can also cooperate on various areas or sectors so that we can build our two countries and our two nations. Our challenges. Despite the progress and achievements recorded, we also experience challenges and setbacks in the following areas: education, dilapidated school and hostel facilities, shortages of classrooms leading to overcrowded classes, shortages of chairs and desks for learners, shortages of sanitation facilities, shortages of teachers' housings, lack of hostel facilities in the inland to accommodate learners, shortages of pre-primary classes, shortages of libraries and laboratories for science and biology, lack of waste management such as emptying of septic tanks from schools, health and social services, pervasive traditional beliefs such as the use of traditional herbs, resulting in maternal and neonatal deaths, lack of specialized infrastructure such as intensive care unit (ICU) and higher care in Andara and Nyangana district hospitals. Livestock marketing. Farmers from Mukwe constituency are taking their cattle to Katima Mlilo Abattoir for slaughtering. Immigration challenges. Statelessness as a result of non-Namibian who have been long in the country, and for those who are crossing on a daily basis in search of greener pastures in Namibia in general and Kavango East region in particular, coupled with lack of proper border management and control between Namibia and the Republic of Angola. In addressing some of these challenges, we recommend that part of the development budget meant to construct new schools to be relocated to the renovation of dilapidated schools and hostels. Consideration should also be placed in the construction of hostels and teachers' accommodations facilities in the inland to avoid overcrowding of learners in the urban centers, as well as to attract qualified teachers to these areas. To ensure the provision of quality teaching and learning environment, libraries and laboratories should be prioritized to all senior secondary school. Budgetary provision should be made for the construction of the intensive care unit at Andara and Nyangana district hospitals. Moreover, feasibility studies of construction of referral hospital in Kavango East region should also be prioritized in the 2025-2026 financial year. Our commitment in monitoring at all green schemes begin to bear results as preparation for 2024-2025 summer production in relation to procuring inputs, seeds and fertilizers, servicing of equipments and implements to ensure timely production has commenced. To increase the value of stock in Kavango East region, infrastructure at all 3 quarantine camps should be revamped and properly managed. Structure should be instituted. Equally also, it is very important at this juncture to mention that as much as we have the state-of-the-art abattoir, our farmers, small-scale farmers, are trying their level best to invest. But road infrastructure for them to bring their produce to the abattoir remains a very big thorn. Just imagine if the cattle weighed at the farm 500 kilometers. When you load it on the truck, on the sandy road, so this cattle is exposed to threat. As a result, when you bring this cattle at the abattoir, it loses weight. Now, who bears the cost? It is the poor farmer who's bearing the negative consequences. So what we are saying, we need to construct inland road infrastructure for our community as well as our farmers to access market. In the area of promoting aquaculture, we recommend that all community fish ponds be renovated, increase the depth to commence production, while budgetary provision for the renovation of support structure of Kamuchonga Inland Fishery Institute, KIFI, should be made. The completion of the regional headquarters of the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources in Kavango East region is of paramount importance. We are therefore called upon the responsible ministry and institutions and entities to resolve the long outstanding issues as a matter of urgency. Kavango East region, in collaboration with Namibian Investment Promotion and Development Board, NIPDB, is committed in attracting investment opportunities in the Kavango East region. We therefore call upon local, national, and international interested investors to make use of this opportunity, as we are committed to the regional vision that is inclusive, prosperous, and sustainable for all its residents. I thank you.
For making the time to talk to us this morning, almost afternoon. And of course, that was the State of the Region address that was just tabled by the Governor of the Kavango East Region, Bonifatius Wakudumo. Of course, quite a lengthy one that has deliberated on so many things, of course, experienced here in the Kavango East Region. And now this morning, we also want to appreciate the presence of our online audience, or of course, following us on our NBC digital page on YouTube, as well as on Facebook. Now, thank you so much. We are back again to give an analysis, or rather an analysis of what has been said just now by the Governor. We also are joined by Franz Moyo, a youth activist of the here present in the Kavango East region. Very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us, Franz.
Good morning. Good morning.
First of all, that was quite a lengthy State of the Region speech that we just heard from the Governor. What stood out for you, and what was your highlight of that was made from that speech?
Well, I have listened quite carefully, and I followed. What I noticed is more of trainings for the youth. But then after the training, that was my concern. What is after the training? What is being created for the youth after they have been trained? this is what I was mostly waiting to see or to hear. Yeah.
But what exactly are you trying to say in terms of training for which group especially? We do understand that it's the youth that it's focusing more on, but in which area specifically are you referring to now?
Oh, there is higher education and community training, which of course, which is to bring some development in rural areas and so on. And so then I'm actually yet to see, or maybe that will yet to see on what is it exactly and how is the region prepared to provide employment for these youth that are trained. Schools is one of those things that I think still the government has to put more effort, because we have quite a number of unemployed youth in the region. So maybe to start with, I would say that.
Yeah. And we do know that, of course, this region is one that has a very high-performing education rate as well. But is it an expectation that to see also the employment rate as well as the amount of people, the amount of young people that are seen on the streets, is that supposed to be happening, and for a region that's flourishing very well in terms of education results?
Yeah, it should be hand in hand. It should be hand in hand, because now you training me, I should be prepared for something.
Yeah,
you get it. So I should be prepared for a field. So at least once I'm trained, let me go out there and find employment, so that at least we are prepared and minimizing that huge number of unemployment. As you can see, the streets are full, of unemployed youth. And I yet want to see the government put more effort on providing employment. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, we are also joined this morning by Dr. Nathalie Ngalangi, an academia and lecturer at the UNAM Rundu campus. A very good morning to you, Doctor. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning to you.
Absolutely. First and foremost, quite a lengthy one that we heard from the governor. What stood out for you as a lecturer and, of course, also a resident here in the Kavango East region?
Look, the State of Region address have got different expectations depending on the economic sector that an individual belongs in.
That's right.
Of course, to the middle class and the well-to-do, the expectation of the State of Region address will be an accountability report, an audit of the central government's activities that have taken place in a particular financial year. Whereas to the people at the margin and the unemployment, especially the youth now, their expectation has been, this is an address of hope, an address of an aspiration, where they have to wait and hope for their livelihood to be improved. Of course, the Honorable Governor have addressed a number of issues that can be classified into maybe 4 main domains of the higher level statement of the government.
That's right.
That is the economic advancement, that is the human capital development, social transformation, and of course the issue of infrastructure development. Yes, the governor have alluded very well on what the government have done in terms of provision of schools, where they have constructed altogether 72 schools, 72 classes, not schools.
That's right.
And predominantly in Rundu second. But then what needs to be understood is the fact that this challenge still persists. This is still a drop in the ocean. Because I think there is a serious backlog. If you look at the number of learners who are still attending classes in temporary structures, corrugated iron sheets, tents, and so forth, is massive. And of course, the issue of overcrowded classrooms, as he have alluded towards the end of his address. So, meaning there is a lot that has been done in education, but there is still a lot that needs to be done.
What is your observation, or perhaps your judgment to why these challenges still persist, and why government cannot fast-track those processes in terms of, for a region that's kind of doing so well, especially in education?
In actual fact, the Kavango East challenge of the overcrowded classrooms are contextual. Contextual in the sense that it's mainly in Rundu. And you must appreciate the fact that Rundu is highly populated.
Right.
So that is why I was very interested to listen to how far are we with the settlement of Ndiona. When is Ndiona going to be upgraded into a village council?
Yeah.
Or, for example, Divundu. When is Divundu going to be elevated from its village council status to a town? And of course, the 6 growth points that the Honorable Governor have alluded to, from Mukwe to Mroro, Kayengona, etc. Because we need to decongest Rundu. The preliminary results of the census 2023 have revealed that the residents of Kavango East is over 218,000. Whereas out of that, 118,000 are residents of Rundu, meaning that Rundu have got over 50% of the residents of this region. That is rural-urban migration.
Right.
People are pushed from rural area with the hope of getting better lives and facilities in town. But the moment there will be some development taking place across the region, where growth points will grow into settlement, later on into villages and in towns, we will eventually decongest Rundu. So else you go to outside schools, the classrooms are not too overcrowded as you compare it in Rundu. And if you look at the 71 classes that has been constructed in the financial year under review, most of them are in Rundu, where project schools has been established. But still, go to schools in Rundu is an eyesore when you look at the type of classrooms these learners are attending into. But then you go to rural area, we have this, what is called non-economic schools. These non-economic schools are a lot in this region. Reason being is that people have migrated from those villages to town. As a result, these schools, some have got permanent structures, are underpopulated. So that challenge of the provision of infrastructure, particularly classrooms, in Rundu town in particular, it's a long way to go.
Absolutely. And this is also where decentralization also plays a very crucial role, especially when it comes to services being brought to the people in other areas, not only in the central town, like you just mentioned, but of course in other areas close to Rundu, or rather in the region. What do you think one needs to be done, perhaps, as a strong focus to not only have the services here, because we also had a resident who just spoke to us, in the Vox Post that we just had earlier, who was saying that, there aren't even enough educational resources here. We can't just rely on wanting to go to UNAM that is in Rundu. We just can't rely on VTC that is in Rundu, but rather you need to take it to other places because those distances are too far, and also we want to improve those areas there. What is your reflection on that, Doctor?
My reflection will be, there is a need, as I have preliminarily indicated. It is very fundamental that there must be a deliberate decision or initiative to decongest Rundu. How do we decongest Rundu? Is by developing other parts of the region to become at the level of village council up to the town level. As a result, people will slowly but surely move because there is a serious rural-urban migration. What are among other factors of contributing factors of rural-urban migration? Among others will be coming to better facilities. So if there are no better roads, if there are no proper health facilities, if there is no water, potable water, electricity, eventually people will come to town. And for the Ministry of Education, in the State of Region address, the governor have alluded to lack of quality education, particularly in the rural area. Why is that perception exist? That there is a better education in urban area as opposed to you putting your child in a rural school. That needs to be addressed, and of course the Ministry of Education have got all tools it deserves in terms of quality assurance. that there are quality assurance officers, there's education officers who can ensure that parents have to start getting confidence of the system, that wherever you put your child into, as long as it's a government school, your child will receive similar quality education, whether it's in the rural area or in the urban area. And we must also appreciate the fact that in as much as these kids are brought in town, some of these kids, their parents remain at rural areas because they engage in subsistence farming. So as a result, we have a lot of child-headed houses where these kids are coming from to attend schools in Rundu. Their parents are at the rural area. Lack of supervision. Now these kids will have disciplinary issues.
Right.
These kids' absenteeism, and eventually their performance will not be as expected from a child who is coming from a house where parents are available to supervise.
Absolutely. And I want to turn that question especially also to Franz as well, with what Doctor just said, especially when it comes to, issues affecting the youth, especially migrating now from rural areas into the to the urban areas. What has been your focus or your perhaps your observation to what exactly Doctor said, and also what the governor also said in his speech? Also trying to put a focus especially on the issues affecting them, such as mental health, substance abuse, and also unemployment now. It also persists as a later persistence when they are now grown and living still in urban areas.
Well, he alluded quite well to it by saying one of it is development that brings most people to town.
Yeah.
And this is with the hope of employment. And then when they get here, it's that struggle first. On the street, as you are job hunting, you are coming from a rural area, you are coming to stay maybe at a friend's place, at a aunt's place. It will not be the same as you being in your own environment, whereby you are pushed to see on means and ways. And then, of course, youth being on the street as a result of unemployment. The other thing is, we have graduates here. One thing is that most of the people being trained by Rundu campus, UNAM campus, for example, they are trained in a lower primary. And there could be employment, but then of high education, or let me say secondary. So someone else who went outside to study outside this town is the one who will get that job. So most of these people, or most of these young people, are affected in different ways, whereby, let's say now in this sense now of unemployment, they are forced to wait for when that time comes.
Yeah.
But when do the time comes? The time will only come if the effort is put on creating employment by building more schools. That is one. It can also do. And then development of agricultural, like we have this vungu here.
Yeah.
It has been dead for years. It can also minimize on the mine, on the number or the population of the unemployed youth. I'll use one example of Mashare Agricultural College.
Right.
It trained a lot of young people here, a lot. These young people, they are sitting with their qualifications at home. You understand? As they are being trained, why not develop one of these centers that can create employment for them? Like Vungu Vungu is just here. Yeah? Now, you are training them for what they already have, but they are not accessible to it. So, and then, yes, substance use or abuse by the young people is stress. Very much of a stress. Where do you expect these young people to go when there is only a bar and there is only a neighbor selling beer or a neighbor, you understand? So they have nowhere else to go except to go and relieve their stress through what now is being called as entertainment, but in an abusive way. Yeah, that will be my take.
All right.
Yeah.
Doctor, would you like to add to what Mr. Franz just said, perhaps?
Probably to talk about the development, I will build on what he have alluded to, the aspect of the green schemes. Right. That was also very prominent from the State of Region address. It's unfortunate in as much as the governor has been very robust and very detailed in his statement. There was some information that was very key to a layman to understand. For example, he have alluded of the 3 green schemes. We must appreciate the fact that this green scheme, its ownership and leasehold arrangement is a contestation, or let me leave that debate for another day. But from today, what we have picked up is, for example, Shadikongoro is at plowed 72 hectares, then Vungu 80 hectares, then Ndongalinena 60 hectares. But then the big question is 60 hectares of how many hectares? What is the status of production? Is it under production, underutilized, or all hectares were plowed? And in the absence of that information, we rely on our layman's observation that we see that some parts of this green scheme is not plowed at all. It's underutilized. Yeah. And his take of the graduates to be granted an opportunity to do something. They can take advantage of the unused land from the green schemes that is underutilized. The governor have spoken about the horticulture training that took place of over 60 horticulture producers that were trained, yes. And the 400, that were funded, the 400 and something farmers that were trained. And I like his expression of they are supplying horticulture produce uninterruptedly in town. And I would like to contest that as a resident of town, I still see a number of trucks coming from the inland, Grootfontein, Tsume, Botavi, bringing cabbages, onions, and other things, meaning that the supply is not satisfying the demand. So the supply is still lower than the demand within the region.
What do you suggest then needs to be, deliberated on, or perhaps what action do you think needs to be taken on for that he said in this speech now to really stand for, to be justified to, of course, what is on the ground right now?
Okay. When 400 people are trained, training alone, that is theoretical knowledge you have given them.
That's right.
Do they have resources? Do they have capital? Do they have support? We have agriculture extension officers that can support these horticulture producers. We have land, we have the water, the Kavango River. That's right. We have picked from the State of Region address of the 21 boreholes that were drilled, and of course the 11 that were rehabilitated. My assumption is, as much as this was not qualified, is that these were mostly boreholes that were drilled to mitigate the wildlife-human conflict. And this is by the riverine area, meaning that the river is now available for other projects. So then the land and the water we need to look at our competitive advantage as a region. Yeah. Our competitive advantage is we have the fertile land, we have the river.
That's right.
And I'm happy of the 400 people that were trained, but to what extent are these 400 people productive? I don't know. I'm just assuming that they are not producing at their maximum. I'm basing my conclusion on the fact that I have alluded earlier on the net export of agriculture produce that we get from other areas of this region, outside this region. So you can go out at the entrance of the town or at service stations or at the traffic junctions, you will get trucks and trucks that arrive to deliver cabbage. And these are the cabbages that you mostly see that the informal marketers are selling on the street. So there is still work that needs to be done. Yeah. The region has been for some time prided itself on being the green basket that have rooted way back from its initiatives such as Operation Werengenje with the former governor, Dr. Samuel Mbambo. Then the current governor has been also advocating for Kavango region being the green basket. We need to be green in reality, else people might assume that whatever we say is rhetoric.
Absolutely. In conclusion, Doctor, what would you like to see? What Kavango East region would you like to see in terms of the future, and of course what the governor has said, and what are your hopes for this region here?
Kavango region is a region of hope that have its competitive advantage. I have already spoken about its strength, its ability to produce its own food, not to rely at other regions, because eventually it will reduce unemployment and it will change people's livelihood. So Kavango East region's competitive advantage is education. We see how the region perform very well at the advanced subsidiary and of course at grade 11. But the moment we have this overcrowded classroom, the congested Rundu that I have referred to earlier, the results might decline in the near future. So the region can't be complacent that it's performing well. And when you zoom closer to the regional performance, you will notice that the region's performance is mostly propelled by the existence of private schools like the St. Boniface and other small ones in town. And of course, you mentioned schools such as Rukonga Vision and others. But my take is that the region should never enjoy complacency of its track record of performance if the existing challenge in Rundu Sekhet in particular of overcrowded classroom, learner-teacher ratio in Rundu is not correct and is unsustainable for quality education from a teacher teaching 55 to 70 learners in a classroom. That needed to be addressed as soon as possible. And I say its address does not only rely on the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, but from the regional to the central government of upgrading other villages, rural areas into urban areas to address the issue of rural-urban migration. That will be my take.
All right. Mr. Franz, thank you so much. And of course, Dr. Galangi, thank you so much for making the time to talk to us this morning. And of course, for your expert analysis on what was just deliberated in terms of the state of the regional address. Thank you so much for your time. That was Dr. Galangi, of course, from the University of Namibia, as well as Franz Moyo, a youth activist here in the Kavango East region. Of course, we're talking about the State of the Region address that was just recently now delivered by the governor of the Kavango East region, that is Bonifatius Wakudumo. We have now also come to the end of this production. Thank you so much for tuning in. From myself, Johnny Konja, it's goodbye for now.